Just a webinar which sort of outlines the process of checking inspection reports for inspectors. So first thing is, this is for Jason Cotton, who's the inspector, and these are the reports to be checked. And what's actually happened is, as soon as Jason uploads this report, he leaves a comment that says it's ready to check. The reports are uploaded into Dropbox, and they'll sit into our normal folder. So that property was in Henley Brook. So I'll basically, you can see he's uploaded the files, both the PDF and the HZF file, into there. So basically I'll open Home Inspector Pro, and I'll go and open the inspection, which you can see in here. And then that brings the report in. Okay, all the details are laid out. And then the first thing I do is generate the report as a PDF. And that enables me then to go through the checking process. And what that process involves, and you'll just see that in a second, is basically looking at the content of the report. Is there any typographical errors? The section's correct if the classification's been done correctly. It's just taking a little while to open. Should open up in the PDF format. Don't know why it's taking so long, a little bit strange. Now here it is, here's the report over here. And so then what I basically do is I go through and I look at the report. Just basically scrolling through the report, look at if there's any items to need attention. And what I'm looking for is, and you can see in here, it's got the inspector's details, making sure that all the information is complete. And if there's any obvious errors in the report itself. So I basically scroll through the report. If there's anything that I see for example, he's picked here polyester bat insulation. This isn't actually, these are called thermosil bats. So then what I do is I would go back in here and I add any comments into the actual report in here. So what I would add in here, I'll just say thanks Jason, and then I just list the comments. So one, and I'd say the insulation, not polyester bats. This is known as thermosil bats. And then I've just told him that I've updated it. And then what I do is I actually go into Home Inspector Pro as part of the process. I look up that area under insulation where he's got polyester bats, and then I click on this one which says thermosil bats located on. So I pick that, turn that off, and then that'll update it. And then I just keep checking, I guess, and that's the process of really checking the report. I just scroll through, make sure there's no other items that need any attention. So as I go through the report, and really what I'm looking for is to make sure that if there is a photo, there's a comment. There's no sections without any comments in them. So this process, to prevent moisture, it's done a pretty good job on this report, as you can see. And the deferral, all the laundry items are in there. Okay, all looks pretty good. There's a PowerPoint to plug into. Okay, it's a maintenance item. Make sure the water heater, that is an electric storage heater. Okay. So just scrolling through. Flower beds on the external walls. Okay. See, for example, there's a patio and porch deck here. Here's a really good example. But there was no comment in here. So then I would go into the section which is underneath here, patio and porch deck. And then I would just add a comment in there, as there wasn't a comment in that section. And every section, if it's included, should have a comment. Photos are in there. So same as main gas condition, and say that bottled gas. So that was under grounds, under main gas valve. You just put a comment to say this one would be bottled gas available on the property. Okay, that's pretty simple. Deferred, we can test that pump, which is great. Okay, didn't check that. Garage and sheds, a lot of stuff, all stable. Tested it, so that's good. So then what I do is I'd save that inspection now, as I've updated it. The only other thing also, that came from the web, and because it came from the web, we don't need to list the agent. And then I just generate that report again. Shouldn't take as long this time. Here it is here. And so 35-page report. And so those items that I flagged before now have been corrected in here. So for example, the insulation, it now talks about thermosealed bats, and the sections that we had previously that had no comments in them now have comments in them. So for example, just up here somewhere, wasn't it? Yeah, it's just coming up here externally. So I've added a comment in there and also added a comment in there. So then what I do is I now save this file and overwrite the file in Dropbox under that particular folder, which is Henley Brook. I think that's correct. So I save it, and now that replaces the existing PDF on there. And then I save that inspection in the same folder, making sure that it'll just automatically override it. Yep. And then the final part of that process is really uploading the report, which I'll do. So that's now upload the report. Now I go back into here and I'll finish off the comments to every section must have comments. So I'm just making that valve, I'm just mentioning that they comments to these to match the photos. Okay, and that's it. Report well done and uploaded. Okay, so then basically I tick it, save the note. Okay, so this is the old file, so if Jason wants to refer that. And then basically, if I look at what happens as a finishing off the process, the report's been uploaded, so then I basically go into Home Inspector, into my mail. Because it's using my software, it now sends me the link, which you can see here. Okay, and then I find the client in Autopilot, and the property is in trying to work out where it is. Current inspections. Oh, he keeps ticking it. Henley Brook. Okay. So here it is here. So he hasn't paid, so So basically I would upload that inspection complete, no payment, and then I basically put it in here as such. Right, so the link's now sitting there, the payment reminder's been sent to the client, and that's basically the process of checking a report. And then the last thing I would do then as part of that process is I'd just let Jason know that the report's ready to go. So hopefully you found that useful, and that's a really good process. It shows the process involved for checking a report.